Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video, and in today's video I'm going to give you guys some tips and tricks when it comes to winning more solos here for Season 8. And for the gameplay in the background, it is a 21 kill solo squad I had just earlier today. So I'm going to be showing this gameplay for the background and commentate over this video. And before we get into the video, I have a V-Buck giveaway. If you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you need to do is to drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on my notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And as well, make sure you guys have me added and supported as a creator. All you need to do this is go over to the item shop, hit X, go to support a creator, and then type in my code, and my code is Young Humor. And once you type that in, all you have to do is accept it, and you will have me added and supported as a creator. So make sure you guys do that. It really does help me out. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to be commentating over this gameplay, and like I said, it is a 21 kill solo squad game, so a very high kill game, and there was a lot of action in this gameplay, especially towards the end. There was a lot of build fights and a lot of building, multiple teams were fighting at the exact same time, so it was a pretty difficult one to get out of, and it definitely looks a lot easier back in replay when I'm rewatching the video. But in real time, it was a lot more difficult. I had to make a lot of split-second decisions that was able to, clutch out for me and, allow me to win the game. So I'm going to be commentating over exactly what I did in this gameplay that allowed me to win with as many kills as I did. So starting out in Tilted, I only had one kill. I didn't have the best of drops. I pretty much just landed. I didn't get the drop that I wanted and didn't get the guns that I wanted. And I lucked out. I found a pistol and I also found a pump. So when I went into the challenge to the next team, I at least had, a decent weapon where I can get a kill with. So as soon as I killed that player, I was able to get some shield. And you're going to notice here as I'm building up, even though I have quite a bit of wood, I'm going to be using steel because I don't want to get shot out from multiple players. And especially in a game like solo versus squads, this guy probably has ended and in this case he ended up not having teammates, but in most cases there's going to be multiple teammates and you don't want to get shot out. So I'm always trying to use as many brick and steel as I can so I don't get shot out right away every single time. But even though he didn't have any teammates, there's still going to be another team that's rushing on top of me. So since they're rushing up, I'm going to basically just camp on high ground and wait for them to come to me, because these are the type of players that are just going to be rushing you. And basically in a game like squads, if you're outnumbered and the other team sees you're outnumbered, they're probably going to play really aggressive and they're going to be rushing you, so you don't have to worry about giving up any positioning or anything like that if you go up a team 1v4. And that's what I would recommend, is just trying to keep good positioning for as long as possible, because in a game like solo versus squads or even in solos, you don't want to give up your positioning unless you absolutely have to. And the only time I really give it up in this game is if I get a knock and I need their HP, I need their shields, or if I just don't want them to get revived. So that's probably the one time that I would drop off my high ground and drop down, and even still I know they'll jump down and not just camp high ground. And since you're in a game like solos, you're not going to have any teammates to rely on when it comes to taking shots or maybe even helping you out at all. And that's one thing that I do a lot when I play with my friends in duo squads, or even when I play duos and I have teammates. I'm kind of going to use my teammates to my advantage, because a lot of the times when you're in gunfights and you have teammates, some people on the other team are going to get tunnel visioned on your teammate, and you're going to have a lot of wide open shots and get a lot of lasers, just like you saw me get on that first guy right here. I hit him for 4 straight headshots. I got the knock on him just because he was sniping a team to my left. And since you don't have any teammates, like I said, and most of the time a lot of players get focused on your teammates, that doesn't mean that you still can't take advantage when they're focused on other teams. And that's exactly what I did. I was able to get the 4 straight headshots on that player when he was looking for a snipe on the other team, and as well his teammate I hit for a lot of damage, and I was able to pick off pretty much everyone in that fight except for the last guy and this player, just because of a third party and just because they were focused on other players. So even if you don't have a teammate, you can still use other people to your advantage and pretty much take control of the gunfight. And I cut it out before, but basically I saw the other team to the left first, and I was about to go for the push on them when I saw the team to the right. And I know for sure if I went for the team on the left, which is already on low ground, that I would have got absolutely sprayed and sniped by the guys on the right, and I probably would have had a hard time winning that gunfight. But I played a little bit patient and I waited for the team on the right, since they had a little bit of high ground. And as soon as they got completely focused on the other team, that's when I decided to make my play and, go for the shot on the one player and get the knock. And just because I got the knock there, it set me up for a huge advantage, because the other team that they were fighting ended up deciding to push them too. So I got lucked out there and I was able to kill a lot of the players pretty easily, just because they were all focused on different players at the exact same time in fighting. So here you're going to notice I'm kind of in a tricky situation where I'm getting shot from multiple teams in multiple different angles, And as you can see, I'm getting spread out from all over the place, so I'm going to use my launch pad to reposition. And that's one thing that I've been doing a lot in this game that I think a lot of you guys should take advantage of. Is you ever get screwed in a game like solo versus squads on low ground, you can use your launch pad to go for high ground. And a lot of the times, because they actually added the jump pads, there's 25% extra kind of jump when you use it, so you can actually use that pretty easily to get high ground unless it's all the way up in the air. So a lot of times if I'm getting shot on the low ground, or maybe I'm in a gunfight and I get shot all the way down, or I'm on low ground and I want to go all the way back up, I'll just build out a little bit, throw down a launch pad, and then go straight to the top on high ground. But you have to be careful with it too, because the other players can use that launch pad to get up. So once you get up, you can also just place a trap on the floor, and if they want to land on you, they pretty much can't. They have to land a little bit down. So it's going to guarantee you high ground no matter what in the situation, and puts you at a huge advantage. So using launch pads to get high ground is going to be a really helpful tip in any game mode, and it's going to save you a ton, because staying on low ground in a game like solo versus squads is pretty dangerous. And it's not really too bad if you have like 1 or 2 players, but if you have 3 or 4 players shooting at you at the exact same time, you want to keep high ground as much as possible and keep that good positioning, and you don't want to give it up no matter what. So the next team that I'm looking to fight and engage is going to be in front of me, but as soon as I start to run over, I get shot in the back from this player, and I know this player is alone because every single other player in the lobby was in that build fight. So I'm coming over here, I'm going for the quick elimination, because I want to kill this guy as quick as possible so his teammates don't come over, because if his teammates start shooting me from that direction, and as well his teammate, that the guy that I just rushed, shot me from his direction, it could have been a tricky situation, because I would have got pinched in between 2 players, and then people just spraying AR from a distance can be really hard, just because I can get sprayed and they keep knocking on my walls, and I have to keep building while I'm trying to fight another player. So just because I was able to finish them pretty quickly, set me up for a pretty good advantage in this fight, because I didn't have to fight everybody at once. And here I shouldn't have jumped down, I should have kept my high ground just a little bit longer, just because this guy was building up right here, and he would get a pretty good shot on me, but I got a pretty good shot on him back. And so here I said, screw it, I'm going for the challenge. A little bit of a risky play. It could have ended really good for me, and it could have ended really bad. So it ended up working pretty good for me. I was able to get the knock on the player. I popped a few minis, and so I'm going over here to go for the thirst, because his other players were above me. And I had to be careful because I didn't have the most amount of mats. I only had 400 mats, and the zone was across, and as well there was still like 2 other people in his team, or 2 other people in his squad trying to challenge me. And for whatever reason, I couldn't pick up in this big pot. I was trying to pick up his shield, so I was running through all of his stuff and I couldn't pick anything up. So his teammate started the challenge, and I wanted to get out of that kind of low ground area right there, because I felt like if I stayed on that low ground, then I would have got screwed over pretty bad. So I go for a quick edit play, and the reason why I went for the edit play really quickly is because I heard his teammate coming up from behind me, and I had to be careful. And for whatever reason, Turbo Bill decided to mess me up, and he was able to take control of my wall. So a really good thing you can do if someone ever takes control of your wall, you can place a stairs and then just edit down. And that's usually the best thing I do, because if someone takes control of your wall, you can either shoot out the wall and replace it with yours, or you can just make a new box and they have to try to get it on theirs. And you don't really want to, because if they have the window, I wouldn't recommend challenging, because you kind of have to fight on their terms. Because if they have the window, it's kind of like a 50-50 shot, because you're trying to read when they're going to shoot or when they're going to peek out. So I would either try to get the wall back, I would shoot at it, or try to get it back. Or what I would do is just make a new box, and that's exactly what I did there, and it worked out pretty well for me. I just decided to rotate to the next zone because I didn't want to fight in it. And so there's 2 players left. I'm just rotating over, and the player from before was ramping up. So you're going to see as I'm ramping up, I decided to switch to my steel, because I knew it was going to be stronger and harder for that guy to break down if he decided to try to shoot me down. And as well, there was another player, so it wasn't just a 1v1, it was a 1v1v1, and this player was completely clueless. I'm not sure exactly what that player was trying to do, so I got a pretty easy elimination there. I lucked out, him not being a really sweaty player. So now it's just a 1v1, and I can take this pretty slow, not really try to risk anything, trying to get a 1 pump or anything. So I'm just playing high ground, just trying to get a few chip shots, just trying to take off as much shield as I can. And because I don't really want to try to make a 50-50 gunfight, I want to try to keep the advantage for as long as possible. And this guy is smart. He decided to build up in a steel 1x1. So if I would go to try to take his wall or anything, he's going to for sure know. And he has a really good shot to go for an edit play on me, because it's going to take me a really long time for me to break his wall. So I just decided it really wasn't worth the challenge because he could have gone for a pretty easy edit play on me, and if he hits me for a good solid like 150 or 160 pump shot, which very may well happen, you know, it's not going to be working out too good for me because I don't have to build up. He's going to be spraying at me and it's just going to be a hard gunfight the challenge. So I just decided to wait out the zone because he would have to move either way, and that's exactly what I did, and I was able to get quite a few tags on him, made him pretty low, and this guy's panicking a little bit. There's not much he can do. I still had max HP, and I was able to get the finish on that player for the 21 kill solo versus squad win. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, hope you guys liked it, and if you guys could drop a like on this video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, turn on my notifications, notified for every single new video, and alright guys, I'll see you next video.